Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is your man, Avery Faucett, and I just wanted to come to you with a quick message, man, a quick seed to plant on your heart. There was a time when you knew exactly what you wanted. You were so goal-oriented, and your actions and dreams were in sync. And you would do anything to make your dream become a reality. But somewhere down the line, you stopped. You stopped working on you. You stopped working on your dream. And you stopped doing the things that made you happy.
What's going on, everyone? It's your girl Gabrielle from the GBL Network, and I am super excited today. I have a very special guest here, Mr. Avery Faucett. What's going on with you?
How you doing?
Nothing much, doing good. And we are here because we are getting ready to get into some deep motivation and how we actually met. Let's give you some history. We were actually, I think it was in Charlotte at the radio station.
Yep.
So my husband, I think he was the one having the conversation with you, being able to talk, and you guys were able to talk about some things that you were doing, which were flag football and just how you were involved in the community, right?
Right.
Yeah, and so, dang, how long ago was that? It was
Probably about a year and a half
I want to say
ago.
a year and a half ago, and my husband follows him on Instagram, and like it's crazy how everything just comes back to resurface to where we've met up with him. He's doing more, we're doing more, but we're still doing our thing. What are some things that you're doing now?
Well, I actually just got done with school.
Okay.
I just received my master's in pastoral counseling and life coaching.
Wow.
At Liberty University. I am actually currently writing a book.
Wow.
It's called Future Me, and it's for young men. And I am also working on my nonprofit organization called Hope for Humanity.
Yeah.
And I'm building a curriculum within the nonprofit with a young man, with another gentleman of mine that I work real close with. And this curriculum is called TBIM, Transforming Boys into Men.
Wow. That's awesome. Now, how long have you been doing this program? You just working on it now, or?
Well, I started the nonprofit back in 2015.
Okay.
But I've started TBIM. I just started TBIM probably about a month and a half ago. We're actually, what we're trying to do is just get into the school system. Charlotte Mecklenburg schools,
Okay.
CMS, Title I schools, you know,
Yeah.
with our at-risk youth, with our at-risk males.
Yeah. What's one of the things that you believe is one of the main reasons as to why we use that term at risk? Yeah.
Well, I feel like one of the best reasons is because it sounds better than in trouble. You know, instead of putting that title, well, these kids are the ones are trouble kids. Well, let's just say not in trouble, they're at risk. You know, what are they at risk at? Well, you know, you go into these different neighborhoods, incarceration is high, so they're at risk of incarceration. You know, they're at risk at homelessness and not being able to eat every day, you know, or not having clothes, you know, not having the school supplies to make them successful in the school. So that's one of the reasons why I like to use that.
That's good. And I'm glad that you broke that down, because a lot of people just leave it at risk, you know, but when you're able to see what they're at risk of, then you'll be able to understand the behaviors, you know, of your boys and or of the kids in the communities. You'll be able to understand why they do what they do because of the things that they're at risk of.
Right.
What's your history, actually? Like, were you an at-risk child?
I was. I am from Charleston, West Virginia, but I moved here in '98.
Okay.
When we moved here in '98, we stayed off Nations Ford and Archdale Drive, Lexington Green Apartments. It was Section 8. My mom and dad were in Section 8. My mom and dad struggled, you know. We didn't move out of Archdale until I was 17 years old. So I was basically raised up in apartments and in Section 8 homes all the way up until the age of 17 when my mom and dad finally bought their first home.
Wow.
So I was around, you know, drugs, and I was around gangs. You know, I hung out with guys that were 10, 15 years older than me when I was 16 years old, you know, 15 years old at the time. So I was one of them at-risk kids. So I guess that's one of the things that really motivates me and drives me to, you know, give back to the community, because I was there at one point and I made it out, and I was able to help these kids and show these kids like, hey, I was there and I made it out, and you can do the same thing.
Yeah, and that's more believable and relate to be able to be relatable. You know, to be able to relate with who you're talking to.
Right.
Was there anybody that motivated you or that spoke to you that really stood out to where it sticks to you now?
Well, I did have a football coach back in high school, Coach Flowers. He really motivated me when I was younger, even when I wanted to quit.
Mm.
You know, he motivated me. You know, I remember it was a time where I was playing in a football game. I dropped a pass, I got upset, then I went back and I dropped another pass, I got upset, and I tried to take myself out the game because we was losing already. So I tried to take myself out the game, but he was like, no. You know, he pushed me back out there to continue to play. And here they go, they throw the ball to me again, but I catch this one. So, you know, it was like he put that in me, like, nah, I'm not going to allow you to quit. You know, we need you out here, you know. And Coach Flowers, he was definitely one of those guys that I really looked up to in high school when it came to playing sports. And even my college professor, Dr. Felder, you know, when I went to college, I had dreadlocks, you know, and I remember like it was yesterday, I walked into his office, told him I wanted to be a sport management major, and he told me if I wanted to be a sport management major, then I had to cut my hair. Well, being the person that I am and coming from where I'm coming from, I'm like, nah, I don't want to cut my hair. You know, I was hard-headed, you know, so I went to school the whole first year undecided, you know, and I played football. I tried out on the college football team, and I started playing football. I had my dreadlocks again, and again, my dreadlocks was another turning point in my life because they have like these freshman things where they do the freshman when you gotta cut your hair or cut your eyebrows off and stuff like that.
Hazing.
And they basically hazed me. So I didn't want to cut my hair off. So I didn't cut my hair off. So I'm the one who started it. Nah, he ain't cutting his hair off, and I'm playing on the college football team, you know. So it was like Dr. Felder, he actually instilled, like, put it in me, like, man, if you want to go far in life, if you want to do the things, if you want to be successful, then you got to be willing to change. You got to be willing to sacrifice some stuff. So my sophomore year, I cut off my hair and I became a sport management major. And he also put in me, like, if you want something, you know, you got to be willing to work for free. You know, you can't always expect to get and to make money for work. You know, to make money while working. You know, so. Dr. Felder, he really put the working spirit in me and just a godly spirit as well.
So how was your college experience?
My mom and dad, you know, they really had me and my brother. You know, they had us. So we were good kids in high school. I mean, we had our ways. We got in trouble where we didn't smoke, we didn't drink. But when I got to college and I was free from my mom and dad, that's when I began smoking and drinking the second half of my freshman year. I began smoking and drinking, and it just became a real bad habit of mine in college. And then it just went all the way, honestly, it went all the way through college and a little bit out of college too. And in terms of that, it got me kicked off my football team. You know, I got kicked off my football team for smoking and for drinking. And then once I got kicked off my football team, it was like, dang, what I got now? You know, so, and I always grew up, my mom and dad always put in me and my brother that you're going to go to college, you're going to play football, but it was really never like, if you don't have football, what's next? So, you know, I had to actually figure out, like, after I got kicked off my football team, what am I going to do? You know, and I was a sport management major, so I knew that I loved sports. So I just started coaching. I started coaching and working at the Lawrence Joe Veterans Memorial Coliseum as an event coordinator. And I was working at Wake Forest as one of the basketball event coordinators. So I got to be close to sports and stuff like that. But in college, it was tough. It was tough, especially once I got my own apartment. My mom and dad told me not to do it. I did it anyway. They told me what kind of cars not to get. I went and did it anyway. So college was definitely a learning lesson.
I really wanted you to go back to that point where you had to figure out what's next. And you took that advantage of understanding that, okay, I'm a sports medicine major and this is what I'm going to do, and you continue to pursue it. To me, I look at that as, okay, I believe that motivation started there. Because the reason why I say that, there's a lot of college kids that go off to college that don't know their second plan, and things happen to where they do, you know, get kicked off the team, or, you know, football or basketball, that sport that they were going on is done. But they don't come back. Once that's done, that's where life stopped for them. So somewhere, life didn't stop for you. You know what I mean? You made up in your mind that, you know, even though football is done, I'm not. You know what I mean? So just kind of elaborate on really, what was the mental process of you being able to transition from no football to
Well,
future?
I think what happened to me was because I had an opportunity to go back and play football again, and I actually went through the whole spring session, and I was still smoking, and I was skipping weight training, you know, and at the time I was blaming everybody but myself on why I quit the football team this time. I didn't get cut, I quit, and at the time I was blaming everybody but myself, and once I quit, I went on to play flag football. And I played flag football, and I was a good player. I feel like if I would have pursued it, I could have went to the next level. So I pursued it real heavy. I pursued flag football real heavy, and we actually won a championship game at UNCC. And it was another one of those games that really, I felt like really set that standard for my lifestyle. And made me not want to quit. It turned my life around, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I remember like it was yesterday. It was a championship game. The first 2 games we had lost. We lost the first 2 games, and then that same night, me and my boys, we did not understand why we was losing because we just understand. We was like we don't lose, and we was losing to people, you know, just different schools. We was losing at different schools, so like we don't lose. So we got it together the next morning. Next morning we went out and we was beating everybody. I'm like literally beating everybody nonstop because we lost 2 games, we had to play I think like 4 or 5 games.
Oh wow.
Without no breaks.
Yeah.
So and the 5th game was like the championship game. And just like in my high school game where I dropped 2 passes, in the championship game I had dropped 2 passes. And one of the players, he had said something to me, but this where I feel like my life turned around. He said something to me and I snapped. Like I blanked out, and I remember my dad like, "Hey, you better chill out, boy." And so I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Nah, you better tell him," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had to bring it back together. So luckily it was halftime. So at halftime I got myself together and I went over to him, and I've never done this before. I went over to him. I said, "You know what? It's my bad. I'm sorry for doing the things, saying the things I said to you."
Yeah.
And I reached my hand out and I shook his hand. He still had a problem, but I didn't. I had let it go. As soon as I went back out there, the first play, they threw the ball to me and I caught it. After that, I scored like 2 more touchdowns, scored 2 touchdowns, and won the game by catching the 2-point conversion.
Wow.
From that point, we won the championship, and I felt like, man, I'm a champion again. And I didn't quit. So I was like, okay, so I'm a champion. I didn't quit, and that's how it just rolled for me.
Yeah.
Through my life, it just kept rolling. Like I can't quit. I'm a champion.
Wow.
I can't quit. So I feel like, you know, even after football, I had flag football. I became a champion. I didn't win a championship in the CIAA. It might not have been as big as the CIAA, but I won a championship in flag.
Yeah.
And that's all I wanted. I wanted to become a champion.
Yeah.
And that's how I live my life today.
Yeah.
I gotta be a champion. You know, I even put that in my daughter. You gotta be a champion. You know?
Yeah. And I'm sitting here in awe because it's crazy how what happened when you was a kid was able to resurface itself.
Right.
And this time you didn't have a coach.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I was my own coach.
You was your own coach.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
To where not only did it activate the coach in you, but now it's activating the coach in you, not just with football, but with life.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful that you took what you learned as a kid and it was instilled in you. And that's how you know if you got it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how you know if you really understood what was going on, if you really understood what your coach was saying.
Right.
You know, because now here you are, a young man, same instances, you know what I mean? Just different scenarios, but it was the same situation.
Right.
And you were able to do the same thing, but you did it. No one had to tell you don't quit this time. You knew I'm not quitting.
Right.
And so with that being said, transitioning from college to now life, you know what I mean? How is that transition now? How does that look now from where you may not be dropping an actual ball, but there may be some passes that you may not have caught, but you're able to continue on and be that champion that you already know.
Right. I have had plenty of failures, relationship failures, you know, goals, things that I wanted to do. I had plenty of failures. I had plenty of heartbreaks, and I just feed off all of them.
Yeah.
Like a previous failure that I had, I was working with Josh Howard, old basketball star, you know.
Yeah.
and we were going to put on a basketball tournament at Camp Green Park.
Yeah.
And I had all the sponsors. He had a sponsor, and we had everything but the players. Everything but the players, and the whole thing failed. I still got like 1,000 flyers. I was passing out flyers and stuff, but it was like, did you really grind, or did you really promote or market the way you grind, the way you should have grind, with the way you should have promoted, the way you should have marketed? And when it all boiled down to it, I told myself, no, you didn't. So that's when I started flag football. I said, you know what, I'm gonna do flag football. And flag football became a huge success because I learned from my failure with Josh Howard. I said, okay, I didn't get players, so I know I need to get players.
Yeah.
My wife always tell me, Avery, if you're gonna do something, you need a location first. So I always look for a location. Once I get my location, it's a wrap from there. You know, I start selling. Then once I get it, I start selling. And once I failed that basketball tournament, I went so hard for flag football, and it was a success. Yeah. It was a huge success, but it all fueled from that failure, with the basketball tournament.
And not only lives outside of your home, but even your family lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? You mentioned your daughter and your wife and how, you all work together to be able to get things done. Tell me about that, being able to have them as your support system and drive.
My wife, she's something else, but I love her to death because she keeps it 100% honest with me. She keeps it real. She's like my sparring partner. You have somebody in the ring with you, and they swinging all these blows at you, and they not doing nothing but getting you better. They're not there to hurt you.
Yeah.
Your sparring partner is never there to hurt you. They're there to get you better. And that's exactly what my wife is to me, regardless if she makes me mad or not.
Yeah.
And my daughter, man, she's everything. That's my lifeline.
Yeah.
And she takes after her mom. Spoiled. Can be a crybaby sometimes, but she's special.
Yeah.
She's special. She loves the Lord. She loves singing gospel songs. But she's just everything. It ain't no words that I can honestly say and describe my daughter. Because she is just everything.
That's awesome.
And same thing for my wife. My wife. Well, what we do as a family, my wife actually has a funnel cake business.
Wow, that's awesome.
So she sells funnel cakes. We do that on the weekends and on the weekdays whenever we're not real busy. We go out and sell funnel cakes. And this was something that, she started when she actually got let go from her job. Okay. So she had to take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And she started this business, and now she just has this passion for it. It drives her, it motivates her. And, so that's what we do as a family. We go out and we sell funnel cakes.
Is there anything or a motivational quote that you have created?
No struggle, no muscle. And I live by that. No struggle, no muscle. Because your struggle is what truly makes you who you are. Every day somebody has something that they're going through. Yeah. And what I would like to tell that person who's going through something right now is that your struggle is going to truly make you who you are. Your struggle is going to make you strong. Your struggle is going to be somebody else's testimony, and your struggle is going to make you just that butterfly, hatch you from that caterpillar. Your struggle is everything. Your struggle is everything. So no struggle, no muscle, and you gotta love your struggle. Yeah. J. Cole said it best: love yours.
Love yours.
Love yours.
Well, you all have heard it from Avery itself, man, and I thank you for taking the time out, you and your wife, allowing us to come into your home. We appreciate it. Is there anything where we can follow you, or where people can come and see you in Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Avery.Faucett. That's AVERY .Faucett FAUCETT. And then you can also follow me on Facebook at Avery Faucett.
This is GBL Network. You're saying peace to